Today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll preview the Tigers game against number 3 Florida Gators. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now. Hello again, and welcome to today's episode of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. The number 16 Towson Tigers are back in action as they will prepare to host the number 3 Florida Gators on March 5th. As always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Sonia LaMonica. And Coach, number 3 Florida Gators, you've played 2 top 10 teams already this year, and this is a big one.
Yeah, they're all big. This is an exciting one for sure. Florida's an outstanding team, and there's no question it'll be a great challenge for us. But I'm super excited, to see. I think we're really moving in a great direction. I think we've got great team chemistry. We've got some great wins under our belt. So confidence is good. Some things to keep tightening up on, so that we keep getting better and better. And we've got a few days to prepare here. So, I think I know our players are very excited to see Florida come in and to compete against another great team.
The Gators are 2-1 on the year. Close loss to then number 1 UNC, a win over then number 3 USC Trojans, and they're right now coming off a 21-14 win over Jacksonville. This is a team, they can score the ball really well and at a high volume. Yeah,
super athletic. A lot of players that are standing out and doing a lot of things for them. Molly Stevens is obviously really having a big impact for them on the draws offensively. Draws are going to be big. And I think, looking back to the USC game a little bit, where you have, a USC team who is known for having great draw play in Michaela Michael, but you could see Florida sort of dominating a little bit through stretches of that game on the draws, and that really puts pressure on your team if you're having some troubles on the draw. And I think that allowed Florida to really sort of open up the tempo and take control a little bit. So, looking at that draws are going to be huge. And I think, we've come off of a couple games where we've been doing a really good job with the draws, where we put a lot of focus on that to compete hard. I think Penn State was a wake-up call for us when we really struggled in the first half. So that's where it's going to start. And, a lot of other things we need to be doing very well to, make it a good game.
Yeah, and you mentioned the draw controls. You absolutely dominated Loyola in the draw controls. It wasn't close. I think you guys won the first 8 or something like that in that game. Yeah. So those extra possessions, you've got to take advantage of them.
Yeah, we like to play a style when we keep our foot down. I think that's fun and exciting. Our players like to play within that. So, we saw some nice goals, particularly out of the second half, coming off of the draw, and, just staying aggressive. Never sort of sitting back and getting complacent. I think, you've got to keep playing hard. And the draws were definitely a big factor that allowed us to do that and to take control. And we've been on the other end of that, like I said, with Penn State, and it can really take a toll defensively. When your offense doesn't see the ball very much, you can tend to get a little tight and maybe force opportunities, so it can take you out of your rhythm. Draw controls, I think, will be a big piece to the success this weekend.
You mentioned Molly Stevens, her and both Shayna Pareca, each with 10 goals this year. Mm-hmm. Stevens has scored on 71% of her shots so far. They're kind of built like you, where it's not just 2 girls doing a lot of the scoring. They've got a whole roster full that can score. Do you maybe look at yourselves and see what do we do to free up so many different people in kind of anticipating what they might try to do?
And I think, you absolutely. I mean, we're going to have a very good team defensive effort because, you have some key players that can initiate and, have your defense overcompensate. But if you overcompensate too much, well, you've got, Susie Q on the backside ready to finish. So, we we understand in obviously when we play, through practice defensively. I mean, our offense is dynamic. We're a lot of good ball movement, and that allows our defense to really get good at shifting, to really get good at reading, skip passes, at reading, anticipating what's going to come. So, I do think it helps that, in a way, we're similar offensively and that we've got a lot of balanced scoring up to this point in the season.
Something that you have that they don't is that size advantage. We've talked about Carly and Emily on past shows, and we know it's much more than just Carly and Emily's size. But is this maybe a game where you just say, we're going to make them have to physically guard Carly down low in front of the crease or Emily cutting across, and then maybe that opens things up later in the game? Yeah,
it's possible. I'm not going to let too much out of the bag right now, Ben, but we certainly have some great threats offensively, and I think that's part of why you see Carly and Emily having success. That size is it is tough to guard, and as long as we're keeping our heads up and we're ready to read the shifts, the defensive shifts, and move the ball effectively, we're going to have to be great finishers. They've got a great goalie as well in Hannah Hicklin. It's really going to be a team affair, something we always talk about, and making sure we take advantage of our opportunities when they're there.
All right. The Tigers and Gators will hit the field inside United Stadium at 12 o'clock. I'll have the call on TowsonTigers.com starting at 11:45. Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck against Florida.
Thanks a lot.
And thank you for joining us today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report. We'll be right back next week to review the previous week's action. For head coach Sonia LaMonica, I'm Ben Rosenbaum, and as always, go Tigers.